Guys and gals, right? All right, good evening. Welcome to the Highgate Selectboard for April 4th, 2024. First order of business, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we go to public comment tonight, brief announcement. I'd like to welcome Mr. Ben Lowell to the 5th member of the select board. Thank you for stepping up. You don't need to make a motion or anything on this, do we?
Yeah, I think we do.
We do?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make a motion to appoint him through town meeting day next year.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All those who say aye?
Aye.
Any nays? Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ben.
Ben.
Yes.
Welcome.
Public comment.
No, that's not Jeff Lobo.
No? Okay.
No.
I'm sorry, I don't get it. Okay.
Record.
Okay.
Somebody else just pulled in, but I don't know who it was. Little white car.
Is it Sue?
I doubt she'll come out in this.
She put her summer tires on, so
Okay.
she ain't going too far.
I'll see her for today then. All right.
Is she on the Zoom? No.
Maybe it was Mr. Briette, I'm not sure.
Oh, that could be.
Are they walking in?
They are not yet.
Just parked at the far
All right, we can come back to public comment.
If it is him, he was coming for ATV
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay. Go? All right, we'll give it a second.
end.
Nope, that's Mr. Weatherby. Okay.
Jimmy.
So, then no public comment.
Okay.
Unless that's what you're here for.
I'll ask.
Here's one of the pictures. Okay.
Welcome. Mr. Weatherby, do you have anything for public comment?
No,
No? Okay.
thanks.
All right, no problem. All right, next on the agenda, then we got Vermont Community Development Grant application.
Okay, so I do have Cindy Reed online with us. And she is having some technical difficulties. So Cathedral Square and the town of Highgate are asking for permission to do a joint application to Vermont Community Development for their housing project. So we basically are their sponsor. They do the application, they pay for the administration of it as far as my time goes, and then it's their baby. So we would like to have a motion on that.
All right, so I'm going to make a motion to sponsor, what's the name of our place? Cathedral Square for a joint application for Vermont Community Development.
Make that motion.
Second.
Second? Okay. All those say aye?
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
So Cindy was online a while ago for any questions.
She the only one that was on there?
Yes.
Is she available?
Maybe I'm just letting her back in. She tried to come out. Cindy, can you hear me? Sure. Probably, yeah. Should be. Cindy? Oh, that's looking,
Whoops.
there you
No,
go.
I- Oh my God. Sorry. Oh, good.
So the select board has approved and is signing the resolution for support of the grant application.
Great, thank you all so much.
Do you,
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
do you have any questions for Cindy?
Well, I don't actually.
Okay,
Great.
well,
Well, thank you all.
thank you for joining us.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, next thing we got on the agenda is the HV ordinance public hearing.
Okay, so this is just to give a public hearing notice to support the decision that you made last time of the route that we had. So it says, beginning May 15th, 2024, SASSA members only with a valid trail access decals and valid registration shall be allowed to the use of the following trail on Highgate public roadways. Swanton Town Line on the frontage road, right onto Carter Hill Road to Compano Road, and the Compano Road onto a right onto St. Armand Road, only to the parent road and take a left. Parent road to the end, left onto Tart Road all the way to Gore, turning right and immediately left onto Buck Road until the Franklin Town Line. This trail use requires helmet use and is restricted to VASA posted speed limits. This trail allows the legal traffic of ATV riders to continue their rides in other parts of the state, but use will be enforced by VASA and the town of Highgate and any service that the town or VASA contracts with or allows municipal fines from. VASA membership, you can go to vtvasa.org. So you don't need to do anything for that, it's just to make sure that the public has warning. So that'll go into effect May 15th. The ordinance will be officially adopted on the 5th of June, and then you will take up whether you open the rest of the roads on June 20th.
Copy that. Yeah, highly encourage anybody who wants to, has any input on this to come to the select board meeting and let us know how they feel about the possibly opening up all the roads, the ATVs, again, sometime in June.
Yeah, I got a question.
Sir?
Can you open the St. Armand's Road in case they gotta come down to the gas station? You know, just have, you know, open it from the rest of the way down to the, in case they wanna come to the gas station, get gas, or stop to the store, can you open the St. Armand's Road so they can at least go to there if they have to?
Is that what we did for the snowmobiles? Didn't we allow, I think, if I remember correctly, the snowmobiles have access to the gas station.
If I remember right.
Gore Road.
Yeah, I was gonna say they come down to Gore Road.
Okay, Gore Road, okay.
So I would suggest if you could open the St. Armand's Road or something so they can get at least to a gas station or go to the store if they want it on top of that trail.
Yeah, we'll put it, consider that, put it in there for consideration.
Because it would bring money into the town too if you let them into, at least to the store or gas station.
Yep. Anything else?
Yeah, is there any noise levels to those?
In the ordinance, I haven't read it in a while, I don't think it was in there, but I think what we did with the ordinance was we went by the state guidelines for that, which I can't remember the decibel level was, but they're not allowed to have like modified pipes or anything on there to be riding on the roads.
You ask this young fella right here,
Well,
when he goes up and down Lincoln Street, how many times you could sit in the garage with the door shut and you could hear him running by the house. There was a side-by-side last Easter, ripping up and down the road, and he was doing about 50 miles an hour. This opening the trails thing, it was, you kind of opening a Pandora's box, because if VASA don't step up and do their part, we've had this problem on Lincoln Street now for ever. And you never see the cops up there. And I've called down here and we've talked with St. Albans City Police, and you never see them up there. And you've got your contract's gonna end up with July with them, and you're gonna start with the Sheriff's Department. And when the Sheriff's Department had it before St. Albans got it, they were sitting right across the road at the old Steinhauer restaurant watching them fill up with gas at the gas station, and they weren't even legal to be on the road then. And if you're not gonna enforce any rules or regulations, you're just gonna open up Pandora's box. The kids, I guarantee you, the kids that are running up and down that street they don't even have helmets on. And they definitely ain't doing 35 miles an hour or 30.
Like we talked about last couple of meetings, so always gonna be the bad apples out there that are not gonna comply no matter what. VASA has promised to help the policing of our local bad apples to try and get them in line. In 2018, 2019, whenever the ordinance went through, we had a different board under, and we still had Franklin County Sheriff at the time. They went to St. Albans, that kind of got it under control. We went back to Franklin County. That's also a different leadership right now that they have, and we got a different board. We're going to be holding the police accountable and make sure they're doing their job.
But see, that's been my biggest concern.
Yeah.
If you're not going to, and if they're gonna go ripping up and down, just last night there was 2 dirt bikes that went flying down the road, running around a wheelie all the way down the street.
It's up my way too. Spring is in the air and they can't wait to get out. They're going to get it out of their system and police
So
are gonna go
where's
for
the
it.
policing?
So the problem, in my opinion, the police aren't gonna pursue it. What we have to do is go to the sheriff when they start the contract and say, we need you to engage with them when they're sitting at the gas station. You're not gonna chase them,
No.
just go up and talk to them.
Because they got a rule right now, do not pursue.
Right, they can't pursue.
State police,
So-
sheriffs, everybody.
But my
Do
point
not
is,
pursue, because
you're
there's too
always
many
gonna
accidents.
have those that are gonna rip up the road, and you've got the vast majority of people that are in Vassar, the vast majority, I believe, they're gonna do it right. They just wanna be able to go out and enjoy their bike and pot down the road. They're never gonna be the ones that are gonna be those
To
guys.
these people like us.
Yeah, there's an old guy that runs up and down the road with a side-by-side. He's got no white hair, and he goes right across in front of Joe's store, and he goes right across and goes right down Lincoln Street, and he ain't putt-putting. He's doing about 50 miles an hour. And if you want video, I can show it to you.
But that's a good idea right there. Video was something I brought up when we were helping write it. If you can get video of the machine and the people, hand that to the police. That helps them corner them at the gas station. Like you said, they're not going to do any hot pursuits or anything like that due to the danger, the liability, and all that. St. Albans, they did it a different way than Franklin County did before under a different sheriff. They did the community policing, which was the friendly approach. Let's keep it on the lowest level possible. For the last, 4 or 5 years, I think that seemed to work pretty good, except for the few bad apples. But I remember when it was 5 or 6 years ago, it was out of control. I wouldn't say it's out of control
Yes.
right now.
I agree.
Yes, ma'am.
You live off Lincoln, I do, you do, you do. It has improved. We can complain and say it's still not
Yeah.
great, but it is vastly
Compared to what it
improved.
was.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Thank
We
you.
used to have some really,
It was, yeah.
but now we just got a little smaller box of Fruit Loops, but we still,
True.
if you get one bad apple, and the good guys are seeing the bad apples do it, guess what? The
Yeah.
good guys are gonna be following hot pursuit. One of the 2 guys on a dirt bike this weekend, he was riding up the street, guarantee he wasn't registered, he wasn't inspected, no insurance, I guarantee you, all that stuff. But he was riding on the side of the road and he was minding his business, and his buddy was riding a wheelie going about 50 miles an hour right down Lincoln Street. As you say, you can't stop it all, but if you had an officer on the road in that area, he could see the bikes going by and he would know. They're not just going one trip. He must have went up and down through there about 8-10 times. And if there's law enforcement sitting in the area, they're gonna do it once and they're gonna see him go, we're not going back there for a while.
So we did, it's a new contract, 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
So we did at 26 hours with St. Albans. So we're getting, 14 extra hours.
Hopefully,
So we should see some better enforcement. That if you come to the town and tell us if you can find the pattern of these guys, is it Friday nights, Saturday nights, whatever, then we can pass along and they can sit there and try
pretty
and
much
enforce
between
them.
4 and 6 every night,
Yeah. So
unless it's snowing.
yeah. But pictures of the machines and the people really help to ID them, especially if they got no tags.
Yeah, that'd be my only complaint.
Okay.
Do you have any minimum penalty after being caught? Is there a minimum? If there isn't,
Well, I guess I should
I
know
think it's
this.
$100
100, 200, and 300, right? For a first, second, third offense.
It's not enough.
That's for us. On top of that, the state, if it's the sheriff can throw stuff on top of that, and if it's a trooper, they can throw stuff on top of that too.
And they could take,
Up to, yes, taking the vehicle.
they can seize their vehicle too.
So
And then they
yeah,
got a towing charge on top of that.
Yeah.
That sounds like the beginning of penalties in my book.
It's something. It's more than what it was.
Yeah.
Because the old, I think the old one was like $50. Yeah, we upped it to 100, 200, 300. The big one that I heard, they did, St. Albans, I think, seized a few in the beginning, and that really set the tone for all the rest of them.
Good.
When they found out they were seizing them, so.
Good.
Anybody else? All right. Health officer update.
Just a reminder that the tenant inspection responsibility is now with the state of Vermont, no longer in our jurisdiction. I will accompany them if asked. I do have one location that was in process before that took over January 1st, and we are finishing that process. The landlord is completing that project, and I will do the final inspection. The state is, I have referred a few to the state. Also a reminder, I can only refer houses that are tenant landowners are not included in that. Owned property has a totally different, we're not allowed to go inside the property. The only policing or the area that I can cover is the outside trash and problems like that. I currently have about 10 locations that I have inspected this last couple of weeks. 2 have been very successful in cleanups already. The others will be a very long road in process, mostly because of financial needs. But I put some timelines out there. Hopefully we'll get somewhere with those. And I do bring the serious ones to the board for decisions about if we want to fine. Some of these people just don't have the money. Sad, but there's a lot of that out there. So we are working on that. We're still getting some dog bite issues. One of the big issues I have is callbacks. When I do get the dog bite complaint, getting the callback from the owner. Most of the time it's because they don't want to talk to me because there's an issue. But many have been very compliant and have worked very well with us. We continue to work with Shelby, who does a great job for us. And you know, we're trying. It's just hard to tackle the whole thing at once, so we are working on it.
Mary, is there help out there for the people that are in financial struggles trying to clean?
This has been one of my biggest hurdles. And I had this discussion earlier. It's frustrating when you've got individuals that live in our state and that can't get help, but individuals that are immigrated in here get more help. It's very frustrating. There's one individual in particular that should not be living in the way and the means he does, but the house is owned and I have no jurisdiction, so I can't do a lot. But he definitely needs help, and all my avenues have been blocked because he owns the home. So I do have him with a social worker. We're hoping that they can move somewhere with him, but again, the housing is in such a crunch, it's not looking good.
Sad.
It is
Yeah,
very
it
sad.
is. Yeah, it is.
Extremely. Especially when we have a couple of them that are working. They're working minimum wage jobs and they're trying. So it's not like they're getting state aid, but they're getting no help to get that assistance. To me, they should be getting the help more than the others, but it doesn't work that way.
We making a motion to adopt this new language, is that what this for?
Wendy will bring that up in a
Okay.
minute.
What is it?
Warrant.
Shelby, the warrant.
Oh, yeah.
Shelby.
That's the yearly thing, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. It's a tough job. Shelley LaRoche, Town Treasurer, is not here tonight, and Wendy, are you doing her stuff?
Yeah, she has, the check warrant is in front of you. And I think she sent it out maybe
She
2
did.
days ago.
Make a motion to accept the check warrant?
Second.
All those who say aye?
Aye.
Motion is accepted.
much other information from her other than I know, a tax sale date has not been set yet. So maybe by our next meeting, she'll have a date for that. So I know one of the properties you were just talking about is on that
There's
list.
actually 2 on the list.
2 on the list. So it is sad.
It's not even generational. And then finally the person gets to an age where they realize that this isn't a life that you're so far deep into it that how do you get out without anybody there to help?
That's it from,
Anything else? Okay.
that's it.
Minutes.
Yep, so under me, you have minutes from March 21st.
But if Ben had a chance to read them.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of March 21st.
I'll second it.
Okay. All those sad?
I,
Alright, Vern has those to sign.
Yeah.
And let's see. Since we were together last time, we had the rabies clinic. The weather was horrible, but we were still quite busy. I know she had enough vaccine to do 300 animals and we did not run out. But I alone licensed 104 dogs that day.
Wow.
So we had between 104 and 300 at the clinic. We did have a lot of people from other towns. We had some people from New York State come over as well. They were actually headed to the Enosburg clinic and saw our sign that was still. So they hung a left onto the Gore Road and came to our clinic and said, much closer. So thank you to Cheryl and her crew. They are very missed in the community, so it was nice to see everybody again. Highgate Fire was in the parking lot, Public Works kept the yard clean, and we had Mary there and Shelby. Who else? Oh, my daughter-in-law, Sharon was there, Richard was on scooping duty. So yes, it was a good day and we got it done even though the weather was not good. Dog licensing was due April 1st. We licensed 628 dogs on time. So late notices are going out soon. So hopefully we'll be cleaning up that list in the next month or two, and then unfortunately we do start finding people. Doesn't make people happy, but it gets their attention. The Missisquoi Valley School District revote is going to be Tuesday, April 30th. We, for Highgate voters, will be voting at the arena this time because school is in session and it's not good for us to be in the building and have all that extra traffic. So we will be in the arena lobby from 7 to 7. Anyone that voted absentee in March will automatically get one for the revote unless you tell me differently. The amount, I should have checked the amount, but I believe it's down about 2 million from the last vote.
That was my question. Is there any way for us as the public without attending meetings to find out what they're cutting?
Yeah, I don't even know what they're cutting, what they cut. They met last Thursday and then warned the meeting, which is right here. The new amount is $49,744,437. I believe it was 51 plus the last
I did the
time.
math and it was $1,005,000 less this time.
So I thought it was like 51 or 52 last time. I should have gotten the other number. It is down, I just don't know what they cut. And I guess I could pull the minutes and see if that was discussed or if that was all done off camera, I don't know.
The ones I filmed, they've discussed what they ended up cutting since that's kind of been going around. So if you do look at the meetings and the minutes, You should be able to find it.
Should be in the minutes. Do you film their
You
meeting?
film?
What school board is here?
Missisquoi Valley?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I believe they talked about it the last one.
Okay.
Okay, so
Excellent, thank you.
watch their movies.
Got
So
some
yeah,
popcorn.
we'll be at the arena that day for 12 plus hours, and see what happens. As a reminder, we are closed to the public on Monday, April 8th, for the Eclipse Day.
Oh.
We are primarily set up to work from home and do what we need to do. I think a lot of places are closed that day. Hazardous Waste Day is April 27th at the Sand Shed from 8 to 2. And I think the only other thing I have is the annual dog warrant we sign. It's state language. We
Yep.
sign it every year. It basically says we have the right to do these things. We never have, we hope to never, but we never know what the future holds. So we sign it every year after the due date, when we start contacting these people that are not doing what they should be as fluently as they should. So you have that in your hand, which usually is signed by all of you.
I'd like to make a motion to sign the warrant on behalf of Shelley Barber, the Animal Control Officer. It's in regard to what we have to do with dogs and wolf hybrids when they become bad animals, our obligation and duties.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, and all those who say aye?
I,
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's it for me.
Awesome, thank you. All right, Town Administrator Sharon, you're up.
Okay. So you should all have a copy of the local emergency management plan in front of you. My suggestion is you take it home because you never know when you might need it. And it has everyone's contact information. And Vern, I would
Yep.
need you to sign the original here so that that can be forwarded to Northwest Regional Planning and then on to the state.
Good.
do you know how often this has been updated, Sharon?
We've updated it twice this year. It kind of goes with our board positions and whatever happens.
So other towns, we'd have no idea how long it's been since they've updated then. It could be,
No, but part of your funding is dependent on having a local emergency plan.
Yeah.
So,
I just saw that the Swanton Village Water Treatment Facilities operator was Brian Bishop. He's been retired for like 3 years.
yeah, okay. And if you see those things, yeah, let me know and we'll see if NRPC will change the originals. Just a quick update on the airport sewer and water. We finally, after months of waiting, have gotten a notice to proceed from the Economic Development Administration. So that project went out to bid yesterday. They'll have 30 days to collect the bids. Then in that time we'll have a pre-meeting and a site visit. And then we'll have an open Zoom meeting for the opening of the bids for that project. So the engineers are expecting that it'll come in higher than what we expected for cost, and that it'll be probably not until September that the project starts. Just because we've waited so long.
Just in time for school to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another FYI is that if we have a vendor, and Ryan, this goes for you too, if the rec department has a mobile food vendor, we need to send in a food event coordinator form to the Vermont Department of Health. So If you have something special, then we'll need to have notice so that we can get those appropriate forms to the health department.
So like
that process?
food trucks at concerts, all
Yeah.
that.
All of that, and a new form has to be produced for each occasion.
Does it say a time, like a timeline?
I think it's 30 days in advance.
I think so, yeah.
Really? That's kind of hard.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, it's,
Very hard.
Is
So,
this a new thing or
this
just
is
something?
a brand new
It's-
thing.
Yeah, it is.
What about for events when they have a,
Like the
Like
ball.
the
An
chicken
outside
barbecue
company.
in our park.
So the chicken barbecue, I've already started the form for that.
No.
but when we have events at the arena and they hire a caterer,
The caterers should have to fill that out.
Yeah.
but that's not a 30-day window for them?
Usually it's 45, but they will do some leeway
Sure.
if it's the last
And
minute.
then, sorry.
That's okay.
Let me guess, there's a fee to this.
Okay, so it's a non-profit, there is no fee.
There's no fee for us, for town, but we have to take the responsibility of who's gonna be there, what are they doing, what's their address, what's their contact number. We have a new, Department of Health representative in Franklin County. So, the
This
old
came to
way
light-
is an
Born and
old
raised in
way.
Massachusetts.
This came to light because of MJ setting up her donut truck.
Yeah, Mimi's Donuts
She
got
had a
caught.
little visitor.
Really?
They just happened to be driving through town.
To supply the lemonade stands too?
Pardon?
To supply the lemonade stands too?
I would say it probably does. I know it
Most
does.
of the cookies-
It does apply to our bake sale.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't fix it.
No, it's.
So, just an FYI.
What's the consequences if one slips through the cracks and they happen to be driving through town again? What
Probably-
happens?
Probably somebody will get a slap on the hand.
They have the right to fine. Most cases, they will give a warning,
So
unless they find a serious violation, what they're looking for is clean water, potable water, place to wash your hands, the floor underneath has to be solid, can't be on grass.
So it does no good.
So,
Why are you getting a health department license to serve if you gotta fill it out every time you set it up? Or,
You
Well,
can-
the license.
You can set it out, you can set it up like in advance, like if you know you're doing 12 events, you can put those dates all in one application.
Okay.
No.
No?
So on my form it does.
Oh, my email told me it had to be a new form for every event.
that's stupid.
So if you want to set up a food truck every weekend, you gotta do a form for every weekend instead of saying I'm doing it every weekend during the
Maybe
summer?
for the town side of it, but for the cake and memory
Yes,
side, they can do the events for the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just to make this clear, Summer Sounds, for example, someone wants to put a food truck in for Summer Sounds, they have to put in a form for every Sunday,
No,
or every
the
time.
town does.
The town has to. put
Because
the
it's
form.
at a town event?
Yeah.
Okay.
The town or the rec department. One or the other, and I'm assuming you're gonna
You
want me
know.
to do it.
And you know they're gonna be looking for, they're gonna be around checking this stuff out just so they can
The other,
justify
the-
their job.
and the other side of it is the tax side of it. That's what they're going at,
Yeah.
is the tax side,
I didn't know.
which is 9% because it's food.
So if we fill out a form so that
We don't have to pay it to town.
so
the
and so
vendor
can
does.
set up their food truck, that person's gotta be paying 9% sales tax to the state?
That's why it's.
Who's following up for that?
That's a state's
For your
baby.
representatives.
Okay.
That's part of their licensing.
Yes,
And part of paying for their salary.
Yeah, 'cause she was gonna open 2 days that weekend in the parking lot, and she only did one and said that she had a visitor.
Well, if you don't if you don't have the event, then you're still gonna be scrutinized.
Okay.
Small business friendly.
Big brother.
Small business friendly Vermont. Yep.
To give you an example, I asked about Memorial Day, and I was told that if someone brings something into the bake sale, that they have to have a home caterer's license.
Oh my God.
So, do you know that every kids organization that ever had a bake sale, if you have to do that, guess what? Nobody's gonna do
You
it.
won't be able to do it.
I
Right?
was thinking I'd write a letter to this new health officer.
Do you have this
Yeah.
person's?
Is this-
Please
I
go
do,
back
yes.
to whatever county you may or may not have been raised in.
Or state.
Sign that we bring your own donut.
Girl Scout cookies, are they exempt or are they uniform too?
Wow.
They're packaged, so
Yeah.
they are different, they're packaged in a sealed package.
Well, what if they're serving them on grass?
You are in trouble.
Sealed packaging.
That's so ridiculous.
So Monday would have been a good day for the vendors to set up, sell
Yeah.
what they can.
Exactly.
That's it.
So,
Ask.
So I guess another clarifying thing would be like pancake breakfasts and stuff like that. This is all falling under this.
Correct.
does that apply to religious groups?
Correct.
Yeah, they had a ham dinner at one of the churches last weekend. Same.
It does apply to them also?
That's what I'm being told. I'm part of the Lions Club and I just filled out on my application for a pancake breakfast for Maple Festival.
Yeah, but I'm talking like the Catholic Church that pancake breakfasts once in a while, one in here and Swanton, one here.
As far as I know, it applies to everybody.
There's no separation of church and state there?
No, the only separation
And Lord's
is
got pays taxes
you
too.
don't have
That's
to
right.
pay the, then
It was the
we-
money.
you don't have to pay the
Isn't
35
that bad?
then
It's awful. It's
So,
ridiculous.
Which
So
part of
Sharon-
socialism is this?
in the park, we've had people raise corn and vegetables and stuff. Is that
That's
exempt?
agriculture. That's agriculture.
Yeah,
That's good.
So farmers markets are different.
Farmers
So show up at your pancake breakfast with near corn.
Yeah.
It's all.
except for the baked goods side.
Ugh.
This state's getting ridiculous.
It's getting communist.
What other good news you got, Sharon?
Okay, so,
Thank you, Sharon.
yeah, just in case you wondered what I do in my spare time now. The Jedware property. We have had the final phase 2 report from Brownsfield on the contamination on that lot. I can tell you there was quite a finding. Fonda, Sheldon Pulp Mill, and Union Carbide used the place as a chemical dumping ground.
No kidding.
There were what they call burn trenches, where they would put the chemicals in the trenches and then light it on fire to try to take care of the mess. There is contamination there. There is the issue that half of the household garbage landfill is on somebody else's land.
Where was this?
The old dump. The old dump. Jedward.
Young's old dump.
Jaguars?
Yeah. Used to be the dump.
Yeah, I know.
So, if somebody wants to read the 1,000-page document, it is attached now to the land record for that property. Because it is public information, because public dollars funded that study.
Oh yeah, that was a big document we
Yes.
recorded. Okay, yep.
So that's public knowledge. We are meeting with, or I'm meeting with Brownfields tomorrow, as well as Northwest Regional Planning and the neighbor, to try to find out what is an appropriate plan for action. They have suggested plans of action that cost up to $32 million.
Somebody better win Powerball this weekend.
So that is one of the reasons that the town had never taken possession of that property. My suggestion is that the board meet with Northwest Regional Planning and a Brownsfield representative. Some of the rules have changed now. We also have an interested buyer for that property, who wants to make a deal. All those things probably need to happen in executive first, because that'll be a contractual thing with the town, and so that's up and coming. But if you want to look at that information, it's a little disturbing.
Is this the property that has oodles of back taxes on it?
That is exactly the same property.
Uh,
Renewable resources, and
Like
yes.
decades.
yes,
Back
there's
taxes.
over $481,000 worth of taxes, fines, and interest. So, and unfortunately, the problem being that it's still on our grand list. So Shelley tells me that we are paying the school portion of those taxes to the school district every year, even though the town has not recouped any money from that property for years.
But it was cheaper than the two options.
So,
Or is it $32 million cleanup?
yeah, so there are things that will need some vast consideration in the future, but I wanted to start you out with the process of, yippee, here we go.
Any more good news, Sharon?
Yeah.
Just full of it
Yeah.
tonight, yeah.
You were setting them up and knocking them down.
So I do have more bad news. Uh,
They come in threes.
yeah. The transfer station project, we had a pre-construction meeting, went great. Everybody's ready to start right off, except for us. We're not ready to start because I applied for an application or a deadline extension, because our deadline was April 1st of 2024. And I knew we weren't gonna make that deadline because we waited so long for wetlands permit. But on October 25th, I applied for that extension. It is now April 4th, and we have not received document for the application deadline extension. So we have no way to pay for that project until they get off their behinds and sign a darn paper.
Who is that?
FEMA.
So there's nothing that local reps can do to help us out.
I have,
Do they acknowledge receiving it?
well, yeah, they acknowledged receiving it, and I've been in constant contact with Vermont Emergency Services. As far as their FEMA part, they're doing everything they can on their end, trying to push. I contacted Senator Sanders' office because the airport, the only way we got that to proceed was by contacting Senator Welch's office. So apparently we have to go to the top in order to get these programs to get off their behinds. So what the problem is that these engineers and contractors are ready to go now. We screwed the contractor last year because of the wetlands issue, and he's not going to wait for the town highway.
He's got other business too.
He has other business, he has people on his payroll, he has things, you know, he has to have money coming in. So if we don't get that okay shortly, you know, within the next week or so, we're gonna lose our place with him and the engineers. And who knows what's gonna happen. It's turned into just a little disaster.
Just because of red tape.
Yeah, what should have been a easy signature and a typed date change has taken 6 months so far.
But you have contacted our federal reps to
Oh,
try to
yes.
get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's the deal on that, but as soon as we get even a hint of a yes, we're going. Having said that, that contractor is gonna put in, he's going to look at the airport project as well and see if maybe he'd stay in town. So that might be good. the last thing that I have is the Velco right-of-way. So Velco is looking to have a right-of-way along the lines on the town property for danger trees. And they just want to be able to have the right to cut down trees that could threaten the line. Oh, I lied, it's not the last thing I have. Well, I would need a motion to accept that and have Bert sign.
Alright. Can I get a motion for Velco to use right away and pay the town the sum of $3,297 to do that and remove danger trees. Trees that are basically if they fall on the power lines or within the property up there.
So move.
Second.
Alright, all those
That's
say.
good, that's a good question.
Oh,
What right away is that, Brent, is it?
it doesn't really define it when I read this the other day. Do you know exactly where? And it's somewhere up near the power station.
Yeah, it's within the Velco right away from the border all the way down through to, so each landowner gets a
Yeah.
stipend check basically for
So there
their,
must be some town land that they have
yes,
to own.
this is just the
Along
town portion, yeah.
Okay. Cause the only reason I asked is I know when they did the one through the school arena, the school put in that they couldn't spray on their property.
Oh, that vegetation
The
killer stuff.
vegetation
Yeah,
killer on their property. I didn't know if there was any sensitive areas that we should have that discussion with Delco with.
Just sounds like there's not good trees down, right?
Right.
Yeah, this
Just
is just danger trees.
Yep. Okay. What else you got, Sharon?
Okay, and the last thing I have is, as part of the Village Core property in Cathedral Square, we have to do some more Brownsfield testing because the parts per million of lead has changed at the state level. So Brownsfields wants to do a little more testing before they have a corrective action plan. And in doing that, they need to have permission to access the property, so each of the 3 lots has a spot for your signature. So it's consent for access to property, and then it has an owner's participation agreement that we're participating with Northwest Regional Planning to do this brownfield work. And that work is paid for by Northwest Regional Planning, so it's won't cost the town anything, just they don't have permission to come in and do it when they want to, or need to.
Can I get a motion to accept consent for access to property from Northwest Regional Planning Commission for the Brownfield program on the, which property was this?
The Village Core, so
Village
that's
Core.
the former Masher property, the former school lot, and the former town shed lot.
I make a motion to accept all 3.
Second.
Second, awesome. All those say aye?
Aye.
Thank you. I'll wait to sign this just to make sure I'm signing the right spot. Is it that one? Or
Yeah,
this
it's the top one.
The top. Okay.
For you?
What else you got, Sharon?
That's it for me.
Okay.
All the good news we can stand. Oh, no, not quite. There is one more bad thing.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. There is asbestos in the library. So they found it when the electrician tried to fix a light that had been damaged when they had their flooding. He opened up the ceiling, some fell out on him, and he said, "I'm not doing this anymore, you have asbestos." So I called a Clay Point Associates. They came today to look at the situation. The asbestos is not in the ceiling of the basement. It is in the eaves of the attic. And it has fallen down through the walls. So he says that our best option would be to have somebody come in, clean up the basement, you know, properly abate it, and leave the rest of it alone. If it's left alone, undisturbed, it's legal to stay there. But since we've disturbed it in the basement, it needs to be taken care of. So he is getting us some figures for that.
So did we know we had?
No, we did not know we had asbestos in the library.
So now we're gonna have to go through all that bookwork and all that stuff, right?
No,
Oh, we'll have to keep records and all that now, right?
no, well, we'll have records, that won't be a problem, but it's just that because it was disturbed where it fell into a pile on top of the ceiling tile in the basement, because that's disturbed by the electrician, we have to get that cleaned up and properly disposed of. But the rest of it, he said, leave it alone, don't touch it. It's perfectly legal to leave it there, as long as it's undisturbed. If you go up there and start rooting around, well, then you're gonna have a problem. But
what I'm saying is, Sharon, I know in the school systems and stuff, if you know you have it, it's gotta be listed. If we sell that or something,
yes,
it has to be all
Disclosed.
yeah.
It can't be torn down without being
Right.
and all that.
invaded.
Well, with any luck, we'll get the grant that we put in for a new library and we won't have to worry about it. But
So,
that's still a cross of fingers thing.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm done talking.
Good.
Thank you.
Sharon.
Thank you.
Sharing your reports.
Alright, that's all you got for the select board stuff, but I see two folks just walked in.
I'm Pete Giron.
Hello Pete, how you doing?
He's on the,
Yep.
number 2.
Executive.
Number two, okay. Alright.
Oh, come on, what happened to number 1?
Rec department, that's right.
I'll put it out there, if there's anything else from the crowd before we go into executive or close the meeting. Okay, just a couple, I guess a PSA or two. Mr. Camera Guy, we focus in on that. Made that today. It's a picture of the, for the eclipse, where we are falling in the path of totality. And I think we're about 5 miles north of it, so we're even more ideal than Burlington or St. Albans right now. Actually, St. Albans is right in the middle, so they got a better spot, but we're still gonna make that pretty good. Just been reading Facebook and internet stuff. If you guys want to grab your glasses. You have your glasses here for the eclipse, and we're going to put them on. If you could make sure, just want to make everybody safe, that they have on the inside somewhere it should say ISO 12312-2 if they're legit. If they don't have that written on them somewhere, then they're counterfeit. You shouldn't
Bumped
use
your
them.
head today or something.
I'm pretty excited about this. All right, come on, everybody put them on.
I picked them up special.
She did pick them up. I did too.
Nominated for the
The other thing I found out today, and I think our cameraman said the same thing, if you're using an iPhone or a real camera to film this thing, you gotta put a filter on it, otherwise you're gonna burn out your lenses. I did see that they said you can use the glasses to put over your lens, so you don't burn out the camera.
Put that out there, sell a lot more glasses.
Yep. I asked that everybody be patient. We're gonna have a lot of visitors from out of the area, and that we try and be cordial and nice, and it might have been for this once in a lifetime event here at Highgate. Yeah. And everybody be careful and be safe. That's all I got, unless anybody else got it. All right, go ahead
Make a
and,
motion to adjourn.
thank you.
With the executive.
Second.
no second.
All those say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.